with game one going towards Caligma Bobway. I, Legend Michael Carrick, will be your color or play-by-play caster. Whoa, and Rob will be your color caster with the Chad Penguin as our streamer. So, looking back at game one, Rob, how do you think the Bung and the Restless have to play their draft phase to win this second game?
I think with the bot lane, if you ban the Yasuo, I don't think Gerg7 picks up the Braum either. So that's a 2-for-1 ban thing. I feel like right there. Because I feel like if you ban the Braum, Bear Jr. still plays the Yasuo. So if you ban the Yasuo here, you adjust some of those pick and bans. You'll be able to dictate the bot lane a little bit easier for you guys, or for the team. I think on the side of KB, I don't really think there needs to be much of the bans. Although now that they know that Clumsy Chocobo is in the jungle, they might adjust some of their bans there as well. Because Clumsy Chocobo was a little bit targeted in the last pick and bans phase for KB. With the Lissandra, Ari, and Syndra bans coming in, those are very top champions for Clumsy Chocobo. So now that we know that Clumsy Chocobo did play jungle last game, I think it's a little bit tricky on how you want to play these pick and ban phase because you don't know who's going to be going what lane.
That's a very good point. Wow, the fact that I didn't even consider the fact that banning out the Yasuo might also remove the Braum. However, it does leave them open to their Lucian Braum combo that they often play. So if you are on the Bung and the Restless side, going further into this, who would your first pick be?
If I was on the Bung and the Restless and I had to pick a first pick, probably the Jarvan. I assume the Jarvan's going to be a very contested pick in this game now that we know that Labby is the sub. Obviously, the Jarvan's one of his better champions as well throughout the games. So the Jarvan's going to be one of those first pick champions that you have to think about here with the pick and bans coming in soon. And then on top of that, you also have to look at the way you want the top lane to go, because the Sion did have a little bit of an upper hand on the Kennen there, but there was not enough ganks in order to push that lane into a state where the Sion was just able to take over the map. So I think some of the things that you might want to consider is completely just ignoring the bot lane and then trying to get that top lane into the state of it being a very good lane for your team. You know, if you want to have a win condition, you might want to look towards that top lane.
I could not agree more with your point there. Sorry to everybody in chat, but the shop poll does seem to be down right now, or just buggy right now. So use the new shop poll link, please, to vote for your MVP. So far, it seems that Bear Jr. is pulling ahead by a vote. So, do you think Caligma Babo even thinks about changing their team comp after watching last game?
I don't think you have to think about it. I think you do have to adjust it as hopefully TBR does get some of those bans coming in to change up that team comp. I think the Vladimir is just an annoying champion that you probably don't want to pick a Zoe into. You probably want something that'll be able to burst him down a little bit better, because the Zoe into the Vladimir is just kind of countering yourself with the pool and the bubble coming in together. The way that interacts just doesn't favor Zoe at all. So I think if you're not gonna change the mid lane ban, I think you need to pick a different champion as well.
That's a very good point. So we jump right into this draft phase, and Bone of Wrestler is not going to change their bans right off, at least for the first two bans. Bear Jr.'s team, my apologies, Caligma Botboy is going to immediately take the Jarvan the fourth off the map. So your plan for first picking Jarvan does not come to fruition here. But it seems like after these first three bans came in immediately, the second ban from Caligma Botboy is taking some time. So what else do you think Caligma Botboy should look to ban? Wow, the LeBlanc ban still coming out, and the Yasuo ban, as you suggested. Two more bans coming against Clumsy Chocobo, perhaps assuming that they're going to flex back to the original roles here.
Yeah, we'll have to see what TBR wants to do with their flexibility here. You know, with the double ban into Clumsy Chocobo in the mid lane, maybe you want to pick up that first pick Sejuani here, and then be able to play that as a safe counter right now. I think the top two junglers right now that people should look at is the Hecarim and the Sejuani, as we do see the Nautilus coming in.
Wow, the flavor of the month coming in for the Bung and the Restless. Perhaps they decided to throw the playbook out the window. It's just like we're going to take advantage of what's broken right now and use it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's unfortunate to say that TBR is not going to make the playoffs right now. So why not just have some fun with the pick and bans coming in? You know, if the flavor of the month is Nautilus mid, why not play it? You know,
Yeah,
at this point, you're just playing spoiler to everyone else. So why not?
I couldn't agree more with that. We see there's Khalil Babwe has taken Bear Jr.'s famous Sivir pick, which he has played, as mentioned before, plenty of times in the LCS this season. Then the Vladimir pick coming up again as a possible flex pick between Kaligi and Juice Me Mami. What do you think? What do you think the Bug and the Rest is going to pull out here? Now that we know that their shot at the playoffs is over. Wow, we see the main pick coming in too.
I, the Vayne would be nice. There you go. So you have Vayne coming in, and then if the Nautilus is mid lane, you might see another tanky support, probably something like, maybe you should pick yourself the Braum here and be able to take that away, because it'll be able to help you with the Vayne and the CC, and then the Nautilus coming in as well. So, but we do see Nico, so that means it's probably going to be Nautilus support.
Perhaps there's still the possibility of flexing Nico in the support or ADC or jungle role. These are very wide flexes, but we have Kligma Babwe on their third pick. A lot of people don't recognize the strength of that third pick window, and it is not used by Kligma Babwe as they lock in their jungler here. What do you think the Bung and the Wrestlers should look to ban out for the rest of this draft as the support and possibly a flex pick hasn't been picked on the side of Kligma Babwe yet?
Right, I think they're doing it appropriate here, picking out the junglers. The next jungle ban should probably be something like Hakarim, because at that point there's not many other S tier junglers, top tier junglers coming in left. You'll probably force something if you ban out the Hakarim here. You might ban out, or you might force the Bung onto something like a Zac, or if Menbung is jungle, you might be able to get him onto the Skarner.
That's a good point.
We do see Xin Zhao coming in.
Well, we see 2 bans thrown at Gurk 7 and 2 bans thrown at whoever the potential jungler is for the Bung and the Restless. Both of those bans signifying that the Bung or Khalid Mababwe assume that it will be Menbung jungling.
Yeah, with the Rek'Sai and Xin Zhao coming in. So I think Menbung's here. If he is a jungle lane or jungle person here, I think his options right now are Skarner or something else. What else has he played this season? Nocturne.
I don't even know what's going where now. If that's actually going to be a horn pick. Gurk 7 taking that super safe Tom Kench pick to save the Sivir from whatever, and a bunch of picks being hovered over by the Bung and the Restless. I really hope they lock in the orange, so it does look like it will be Vayne ADC for Samdillo. Which is actually perfect. He's just floating his skills from the top side into the bottom lane with perhaps the Nautilus support or Nico support. We still don't know how they're going to flex that around.
Or it could be an orange support. We don't know at this point.
That's a very good point.
The Bung and the Restless right now it's a very wide variety team right here.
Oh no!
Well, okay, so if we obviously the lineup's going to be probably Ornn top, Nico mid, Vayne Nautilus bot, and then a Trundle in the jungle, which Trundle is not a very good champion right now. So we'll see how they're able to make this work. I think Trundle's probably one of the lowest win rates in the game. If not, I don't think he has a win rate. He's so bad.
Well, with 5 buffs behind him, his win rate is currently higher than Silas's. But I'm just excited to see a Trundle in our female LCS, especially with how much crap is given to him by our own Dylan Ortenzi. And here we have the York pick coming in, so Trundle does have 3 champions to siphon away stats from.
Yeah, and then KB's able to get that Yorick, which is actually very good. So, um, we'll see how this plays out. I think KB's lineup again. I think the picks coming in from TBR are just a little bit better than KB's, but that Trundle, man, I don't know about that Trundle. I feel like a Skarner would have been a little bit better than the Trundle, so we'll see how that goes.
I love that they picked the Trundle before seeing if there were going to be multiple tanks on the side of the bung on the side of Cliff Zimbabwe. Alright, if you if you were to describe each team's team fighting style, how would you put it?
I think so. Bear Junior's team or Cliff Zimbabwe here wants to be able to split push with the Yorick and then the Sivir and the rest of the family on the side lane. But I think the Bung and the Restless here want to definitely just team fight. So it's kind of the opposite of last game. I feel like Bung and the Restless want to do a full team fight here. I think that they have 3 technically AoE ultimates with the Ornn, Nico, and the Nautilus ultimate. But with the side of Bear Junior's team, Kalima Bawe, Sivir has that spell shield, and Vladimir can pull into his pool, and then Tom Kench can eat anybody as well. So I don't think their team wants to team fight, especially with all of the abilities that they have to escape any of the engages made by the Bung and the Restless. So we'll see how they play this game. If Cleveland Bawe just wants to split push the Bung and the Restless to death.
I couldn't agree more with your point there. Although Vayne could go to the silent and answer York, but hear me out. What if it's not Trundle support? Or it's Trundle jungle. What if it's not Trundle jungle, but rather Trundle support?
Um,
I'm putting my money on it.
Well, who would be jungle? Nautilus?
It could be Nico, Nautilus, Vayne, Ornn. Every champion here can jungle, and every champion except Vayne here can support. It's the super flexes.
Well, I think it goes back to my point. The Bung and the Restless are technically out of the playoffs already, so why not just have some fun here? So we'll see how much fun they want to have here. If it is a Nautilus support, I don't think Nautilus support is, or excuse me, Nautilus jungle. I just don't think his wave clear is as good early, and that's gonna put him really far behind, in terms of wave clear versus the Vi on the side of Labyrinth, and the side of Cleveland Babwe.
You definitely are not wrong. I've tried to route Nautilus jungle myself quite a bit these last few days, and it's brutal trying to clear those first 3 levels off. However, he does kill the Scuttle very quickly, so he's got that going for him.
I remember Nautilus jungle being like a season 3, season 4 kind of thing, maybe season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I have not jungled Nautilus since those earlier seasons, so we'll see how this goes. But we do see Samdelio on the Vayne right now, which means he's probably going to be heading back bot lane. So I think these lineups are going to stay the same as they did the first game. So if the Trundle and the Nautilus do not switch, we will see a Trundle support and a Nautilus jungle. But I'm hoping that they switch here, because I just think Nautilus would be better as a support than a jungler.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
especially since Tom Kench doesn't exactly build resistances for Trundle to eat away. So...
Right. We'll see. I think they have until 30 seconds to switch champions. Oh, there they go. They just switched. So
heartbreaking.
I think that's a little too much fun. I think that's out of the I'm here to troll but try to win realm. Oh, well, they switched back. So
the mind game is being played.
Are they gonna switch summoning spells as well? Send Nautilus and comes Chocobo as a support. Bear Jr. is on the Yorick right now. Okay, they switched.
All sauce being around. Well, we know that Kligma Bombway is going to be stable. So, we'll go ahead and read off champions and players while we wait. I'll start off with Kligma Bombway. I'll leave you with that, whatever that mess is over on Hungry Restless.
Okay.
On the Cleveland Byway, top side you have Kaligi on the Yorick. In the jungle you have Labyrinth 1898 on the Vi. In the mid you have Juice Me Mommy back on this Vladimir again. And on the bot side you have Bear Jr. on the Sivir with his handy dandy support Gerg7 on the Thomas Kench.
Coming in on the side of TBR. In the top lane, we do have Jabberman Kurtz on the Ornn. In the jungle, Clumsy Chocobo on the Trundle. They did switch at the last minute there. In the mid lane, we do have Zarudo on the Nico. And then in the bot lane, we have Samdilio and Menbung on Vayne and Nautilus. So coming into these team comps, I definitely think, if we're looking at skill, I definitely think KB will win here. But if the cards align for TBR and they play their hand just right, they might be able to get off some of those picks here and kill some of the important key players of KB and take a win off of them. We'll see how that goes, though.
I really hope the Bunker Restless win this with the Trundle pick.
You know what? I hope so as well. That would be nothing but tilting to KB, and my team plays KB next week. So having them tilted into the next matchup would be great for my team. But being subjective about this
and a realist.
I unfortunately don't think TBR has the capabilities of winning this game. I mean, I wouldn't say capabilities, but I just don't think that they will. So
yeah, it's difficult. All right, well, let's compare this lane by lane. Maybe we can figure out something for the Bung and the Restless while we have this game to load. So starting at the top lane, how do you think this matchup goes?
I think Yorick wins this pretty single-handedly. I think Yorick is a little bit of an easier Nasus into this game. With his ultimate coming out, she's able to do a lot of damage onto turrets, and then you can switch onto champions as well. So with the Yorick, you have to burst him down, otherwise he just sustains throughout the entire fight. The Ornn has the ability to build items in lane as his passive, and I think that can kind of help you out early on, but I just think the Yorick will roll over that matchup as we get into early mid game.
That's a good point. Looking into the jungle, I guess I'll take this one, being the jungler. God, Trundle's garbage. There's not like that much to say about that. Vi clears in jungle very well. Trundle's sitting there just auto-attacking minions, and his abilities allow him to punch faster and move faster. So like, it's just like a slightly worse Udyr. So I can't imagine the Trundle's going to be able to match the Vi very much in terms of jungle, but you can go ahead and take the mid lane matchup.
I think the mid lane matchup is a little bit interesting here. Vladimir, that pool on Vladimir just kind of counteracts a lot of the mid lane's abilities throughout multiple champions coming in. So with the Nico, if she's able to root him and get the Q off onto the Vladimir, it's definitely going to be a lot of damage. She didn't run Electrocute here. She ran with the Comet. So we'll see how that works out for them. I think you've got to give it to Vladimir there. Just the sustain of Vladimir is just so important into these mid lane matchups that I just think it goes on the side of KB there.
That's a solid mention. We're going to go ahead and do our classic PMA LCS pause at 10. And I really hope Chocobo proves me wrong. I'm at 10.
Yep, I'm good.
All right, 3, 2, 1, pause. Unpause, rather. Sorry. Okay, chat. We are into our last game of the series between Caligma Bobway and the Bung and the Restless. place your hashtag which team wins here as we see the Bung and the Restless are looking to do an invade with the Nautilus pick and the fake Nautilus from Zaruda's might throw things off a bit. They might have been spotted out as Gurg7 is sitting at that 4-point defense board, and they're just going to go right into the jungle. The hook coming to land on Bear Jr., and he might have to flash away from this as he started with Spell Shield first.
Oh my
god, they're going to get the flash in the side stun, and Bane actually gets this flash into the auto attack with the tumble and gets the kill. First blood going over to the Bung and the Restless.
Well, okay. So there's 2 flashes burned on the side of TBR for the heal and the flash of Bear Jr. I'm not sure why he started Spell Shield.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. He could have started any
I
ability.
feel like he panicked, leveled it up, and didn't get it off in time.
Yeah,
but...
could be. Ooh, alright, so we'll see that Labyrinth 1898 is going to like to take away Clumsy Chocobo's blue buff and as a grievance there while Clumsy Chocobo started at his red buff. He's going to go over to Raptors even though he doesn't have the Hunter's Talisman. He's going to try to take those things down. It's going to cost him both of his pots more likely. Membung's here to secure the first 3 CS for Samdillo as he had gone back and gotten the longsword. Wow, what an actual strong for them. Clumsy Chocobo is going to go ahead and vertically jungle as that ward had spotted out Labyrinth. Shockingly, he's going to go ahead and outduel the Vi here in the jungle and force her off her own blue. Since he has red buff and she has blue buff, she can't actually contest this. Plus, the lane advantage from Menbung allows him to roam towards it first, securing this blue buff for Clumsy Chocobo, possibly short of a smite fight here. If we look down, see the fight has extended as the bot lane of Kligma Bobway has gone into the jungle to defend this. But we look at the CS and Clumsy Chocobo did get that smite. He's going to walk out of that jungle with Labyrinth 1898's blue buff. Jabberman Curse versus Kliggy does seem to be as you had predicted, with Kliggy having that early game advantage on Jabberman Curse. But those recent Orm buffs in patches 9.2 and 3 make it so that Orm might be able to fight more.
Yeah, that Orn is definitely, he doesn't feel as good as he used to be when he had that shield on his W. But he is unstoppable on the W, I believe, again. So we'll see how that goes. Unfortunately, in the bot lane, Vayne did back for that extra item, but I just don't think it works out. And then Menbung, unfortunately, has...
Oh, unfortunately, Menbung getting picked up by that Devourer, and as he's playing Nautilus, he doesn't have many other escapes other than Spider-Manning to a wall, but Gurg7 positioning himself beautifully in front of him so he couldn't use that hook. He just becomes a thinker instead.
I actually think what happened there is that the Nautilus got the hook onto the tower, but Gurg7 had the triple stack on him and was able to eat him away from that. Ah,
even better. Well, taking down Menbung and tying up the game at a 1-1 series. We see Orn is pushing the tower while Kaliki is just happily farming him. A good point in chat is that I don't know if this is actually true, but supposedly Orn can knock up Yorick on his own wall.
Yes.
That Searing Charge.
That is true. Yorn can use any outside abilities like an Anivia wall, Jarvan ultimate, Yorick cage there to knock up anything. Any other champions in that area. So,
seeing as that's true, then that's actually incredible as a counter pick, because now Orn can break the wall with a single ability, not having to commit multiple auto attacks towards that wall. Perhaps this plays a huge factor in late game team fights. We'll see. Looking across the board at CS, this time it seems the advantage is actually on the side of the Bung of the Restless, as we see Zarudo get a terrific Pop Blossom combo onto Juice Me Mommy, forcing Juice Me Mommy back to his tower. But we see that Labyrinth 1898 on his famous Vi is one of his biggest comfort picks. He's going to look for that gank on Zarudo, but he's going to back off to safety.
Yeah, unfortunately, one of the problems with that early invade onto Labyrinth from Clumsy Chocobo was that Menbung went up to into that jungle to help him out. So Menbung's sitting right now on level 2, floating around on the map.
That's a solid point. Membung is just scraping together for experience. But here we see Zaruto taking advantage of his expertise on this my apologies, on this Nico as he charges up the third hit of that W before going in for trades onto Juice Me Mommy. So he ensures that third hit goes on him before that Pop Blossom even lands. Wow, we see another invade on the Labyrinth 1898's jungle as a Dredge line is landed onto Labyrinth, and he just walked out of there with his punch. But we see the Hemoplay come out of Juice Me Mommy, perhaps just for extra sustain in the lane, and the incredible Trundle gank as he just walks faster towards the lane. Nothing comes out of it.
That was such a late reaction on the for the condemn. I don't understand if it was on cooldown or something, but it took him a little too long to do that condemn. He could have gotten Greg there, or Greg 7 there. Could have caught them out, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, it's a very good point. It could have been just nerfs. We'll see that Jabberman Kurz going in with that Searing Charge combo. Now that he has level 6, he's going to take advantage of the Forge of the Old Gods or whatever it's called. And he's actually going to duel down Kaligi here. Kaligi does have his flash up, but elects not to use it to get out of the way. Jabberman Kurz will spend his flash and earn 300 gold out of it. The Tongue Lash comes out of Gurk 7. He's going to get the third stack onto Samdilla, but he's going to tumble out of the way, saving both of his summoners out of that trouble. Juice Me Mommy tries to gank bot with that teleport, getting nothing out of it, and Clumsy Chocobo still holding on to his summoner. All summoners still being held on the side of the Bung and the Restless there. This is starting to look really good for the Bung and the Restless. They're down 100 gold.
Yeah, Kaligi there just being a little greedy, decided to stay for some extra farm and whatnot, sitting on no mana. Unfortunately for him, Ornn was able to get that straight up kill, that 1v1 kill there, so we'll see how this goes as
Probably position themselves around the dragon, but we do know that the dragon reset. Labyrinth is gonna go too low. Infernal Drake and take the kill down on Labyrinth. Juice Me Mommy does not have Hemoplague as he tried it earlier, and Clumsy Chocobo was gonna take down Juice Me Mommy with that auto attack on the Trundle, and it is currently a 4-1 with Infernal Drake on the side of the Bug and Restless. I could not be more hype about this game right now.
Yeah, there's an unfortunate timing there for Zimbabwe as the dragon reset in order to get down to the appropriate damage or health for the steal to happen. That's unfortunate for them. But we do see Kaligi using that ultimate to split push top lane. He's able to get 2 towers there, or 2 plates there.
Yep. Something to note is Bung and the Restless did pull Jabberman Kurz down with his teleport to make sure they secure that dragon, and they did. They got everything out of it. They even got a plate mid lane afterwards to secure their early game for themselves, even though it only looks like a 700 gold difference. That is massive at this 8-minute 30-second mark. And on the trade, Kaligi only got 2 plates off of it with 20 extra CS. That's how they kept their lead from being too far. And if we look at the levels, Menbug is still level 3, while Santillo has hit level 6.
You have to get Menbung some levels here. He is almost level 4. He's like 1 or 2 CS away from level 4. But you gotta get him up to level 6 in order for that ultimate to be able to do some stuff for you guys later on in the game.
Wow, and the Trundle gank comes top. Oh, perhaps he's gonna fight off more than he can chew as the Ornn ult comes by and knocks him up. But Kaligi's left at almost a third of his health left, and he's just gonna walk out of there as Trundle took too many tower shots during that gank. Call of the Forge God being used there, and Trundle's actually gonna elect to use his red buff heal to go back into his jungle. Think about that mid lane matchup. Why do you think Nikos has this huge advantage on Juice Me Mommy?
So Naruto's playing it very well. He hasn't missed many of his skill shots onto the Vladimir. So we'll see how this goes as Juice Me Mommy starts to build up some of the his magic resistance and his regen and health and stuff. So we'll see how this goes for them. But Naruto's playing the matchup very well and being able to land his E, the root onto Juice Me Mommy here. So we'll see how that goes for them.
Wow, Labyrinth 1898 set up for a lane gank bot, and it seems like he won't get away with it. Wow, trying to re-gank topside on the Jabberman Kurz, sending Kaligi flash home with him. turns out Kaligi's not going to go up his tower that quick. Membung is healthy here, but he is only level 4. He will get 1 to 2 platings on this bot turret. Demolish proc. Membung walking forward to stun Sivir with his newly buffed auto attacks timer cooldown. But nothing's going to happen with that. Samdilla just trying his best to farm into the late game.
Yeah, that bot lane, as we saw, as I suggested, Tulio, or Clumsy Chocobo going into the top lane for the ganks. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of a different champion because of the Yorick. He's able to just baby cage someone off. Ooh.
Absolutely. Bear Jr. showing his strength on that Sivir and his comfort with him as he lands that boomerang blade to finish off Samdilla. Labyrinth going to dive onto Membung, giving Membung a kill. Zaruda to go for that ult, which has now been nerfed so he can't move for the last bit of it. And the slow is even worn off on it, so he's not going to get that kill. And Juice Meow is going to push him out of lane at the trade of his own flash.
Yeah, unfortunately we see Menbong here is just too far behind in order to do anything to help out with that bot lane. So Arinth, knowing that the Menbong, or that the Nautilus was behind in levels, was just able to sit down bot and just continuously get kill after kill. But we did see Clumsy Choco will pick up that Rift Herald again this game, so we'll see if they're able to do anything with that.
Yep, and just like that, the gold advantage is now on the side of Caligma Bobway. Somehow they extended by 2k, and I say somehow, but if you just look at the CS difference, there's a huge CS difference bot side from Bear Jr. on Samdilla, almost a 40 CS difference, and everywhere across the way except for maybe just the jungle and 1 or 2 waves in the mid lane. Caligma Bobway is showing their dominance as single players here. Ornn up top in these quick trades, showing that he's not a pick to be trifled with, as he's showing that he can just hold his own versus this Yorick pick. Yorick pick going to go off and finish off that Triforce. The Rift Hero is being popped bottom, which is an interesting choice, as that lane should have been given up on, but perhaps they're just trying to set up for this draft here. See that Zarudo is getting in place for this kill, although Pop Blossom actually has cooldown already. What is the cooldown of that ability? Teleport coming in from Juice Me Mama, he cut around this kill. Labyrinth seems to be disconnected or stunned up there in that tri-bush. Not sure what's going on. I'm sure Pause will come in soon, as he's just standing still as everybody else is fighting. The pause does come in as Labby is stuck and somehow just teleported from tri-bush to Botside River.
As we get that figured out, we'll see what happens there. But I think right now the Vayne is just, again, the bot lane is just a little bit too behind in order to keep up with this stuff. Fortunately, they were able to get a couple plates there with the Rift Herald, but I would have liked to see that somewhere in a different lane. So we'll see how that goes. The cooldown for the Neagle ultimate is probably, I think, around like 65 seconds or 70 seconds. It's a pretty short cooldown, so that ultimate's going to be up almost every fight for pretty much for the rest of the game. As we do see, Nautilus is level 6 right now, so he's able to have that ultimate in order to hopefully help out with some of these team fights here.
Well, as the fight goes in, Juice Me Mami and Labyrinth 1898 are on the outside of the fight, while all of the Bug and the Wrestlers are grouped together, so they're going to look to try to get a quick pick on these guys. Zarudo looking for his snare into Pop Blossom combo, and they're just going to run the rest of the Caligma Bobway out of this river. Juice Me Mami not scared of anything, however, and he's just walking back in with those Blossoms popping on Gurg 7. Nothing that great. Heal off, though. We'll see that now the Bug and the Wrestlers have full control of the river, but Samdilla has elected to go back into the lane, more farming, putting himself outside of range of the actual fight should one pop right away. Well, Sivir would have to go all the way around the wall. Nothing's going to happen with his dance. Kaligi does have his teleport up now, but so does Jabberman Curse. Will be interesting to see how both teams decide to pull down their top laner. Bummy is elected to run back into mid lane to push out the wave, which is the right call here, so they're going to go ahead and take away any chance of engaging this dragon from Caligma Bobway. The Bug of Us might start the dragon up here, as Zarudo has walked back in the lane, get hit with a Chemo Plague into the Pop Blossom to save himself, builds that shield, but it might not be enough. He flashes away after dropping his own Blossom. Juice Mami has control of the mid lane, but the jungle fight has begun. Gurg 7 has devoured Labby 1898. Membung's going to continue focusing down Labby. Labby's going to go ahead and finish off Samdilla, but Samdilla's going to not survive. As that fourth hit was away, Membung's going to take down Lebby 1898. Sivir out of mana and gets knocked up by the Searing Charge of the Ornn. And there once again seems to be no concise shot calling as everybody's going off which way to fight whoever they want. However, Sivir is out of mana, so Trundle can look to take this dragon, but he's going to walk away. And in the meantime, Caligula did not teleport, so he's just going to go ahead and finish off this top tower.
Yeah, as we see, Sam can't use abilities, so apparently the Vayne is having an issue with abilities right now.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
The Yorick in the top lane is just going to be continuously split pushing there. He didn't have to teleport into that bot lane. But we saw TBR once again split up in the team fight to go after different champions instead of all collectively going after one. So we will see how this goes from here on out, as we do see an unpause coming in, I believe.
Yep.
But that mid lane matchup is starting to go towards the favor of Vladimir now, as he's completed his first item. Unfortunately, the Nico did have to back in the middle of that team fight and was not able to help out with any of that stuff going on after once the dragon was first started by TBR. So the dragon is still sitting up and alive right now, but we do see a little bit of an awkward back coming in from Menbung as he's back in the lane. Right back in the fountain. We'll see how that goes for them.
Yep. Yeah, Samdillo not being able to use abilities under CC or just not being able to use abilities at all. He could have healed and maybe changed the way of that fight. We'll see that Caligula Babwe has elected to go immediately back to the dragon, reluctant to give up a second Infernal Drake to the enemy. Trundle Pillar is going to give him some vision, but that's all it's going to do, as Trundle doesn't actually have a dash to get over the wall to steal it. He did have that blast route, but decided it wasn't worth the risk. They're going to go ahead and just reset him back to the fountain. Looking at both these...
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
I was going to say, looking at both these teams' build, we see that the non-traditional tank builds coming out of both Labyrinth, 1898, and Caligula again. How do you think this plays into their team fight as this game transitions to the mid-game?
I think this game's a little bit easier for Labby not to build into the tank, as we have a Yorick who's going to be tanking no matter what, and then you have the Tahm Kench who can save people throughout a fight, and then the Vladimir's getting off to that sustain split pushing the way that he played last game. So I think the full non-tank build is a little bit better this game, especially with the Trundle on the side of TBR.
I didn't even consider the Trundle because who would? But that's a solid point. If somebody does build pure tank, they won't just get sapped off by the Trundle. We do see a cross map Abyssal Voyage coming out of Gurg 7 with that Labyrinth 1898, hopefully to get a kill off. The Call of the Forge God's not going to hit anybody as he just used it to get a small little dash advantage. Membung's going to be forced to flash over the wall there, and both members survived that cross map 4-man gank. Kudos to the Bung and the Restless.
Yeah, so once again we have the Juice Mumami split pushing in the bot lane. Oh, as Samdillo is going in.
Samdillo goes in with that Night Hunter, and he pops that heal. He's going to get that wall bang because he had that red ward as Juice Mumami tried to flash into the bush, but to no avail. Wow, Samdillo showing his expertise on this Vayne as he's just going to get crit to death with the Boomerang Blade. No need to outplay when you can just right-click your opponent while standing still. And here we see Jabberman Kurtz clearing out some wards as they just escaped from another fight. However, Sivir Bear Jr. on the bot side with that immense wave cleanse found that bottom turret here as a reward for killing Vayne.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched any of the games from last week, but I casted a game last week where one of the teams picked up Sivir as a mid laner. And the Sivir was just split pushing the entire game, and able to just choke out the team that they were playing against. So Sivir herself is just a great champion for movement around the map and being able to split push.
That's a fair, solid mention. That was probably Lugo if anybody was playing Sivir mid, but yeah, Bear Jr. taking advantage of that. This game, however, even regardless of the fact they're piloting Trundle and such an odd comp, is a lot closer than game one. There's only a 3k kill difference. There's a dragon on both teams this time, and the kills are even. Just slight tower advantage to the side of Caligula Babwe as the short range ADC of Samdillo finds it difficult to take towers.
Yeah, the Vayne right now is sitting on their first item with And then she's probably going to lead into the Ginzu here as a be able to help out dish that damage. I think if you're on the side of TBR, you know you want to get some levels on Menbung as he's sitting on level 7. And then if you're able to find someone who can deal with this Yorick as they're going in.
Wow, Kaligi flashing away from the Forge for the call of the Forge God, but it makes it so he can't flash over the wall. Clumsy Chocobo's gonna keep chasing. He's gonna flash forward with that bite, which gets the micro slow onto Kaligi, allowing him to chase him down. Drops that W so he can walk faster, and then recognizes that he's not a real champion. So Kaligi just walks away from that gank, and then Menbung comes in for the mid fight just to save Samdilla from the tower dive, and nothing happens.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Jabberman Curse that the ultimate missed there because of the flash, but Julio, or excuse me, Clumsy Chocobo spent his flash after to chase that kill and was not able to get it, so a little bit of a wasted gank there, I guess, if you spend the flash for the flash there. However, KB here was able to pick up another tower in the bot lane as Vladimir is pushing into that mid lane.
And after that push, Jupiter runs right mid, drops the Hemo Plague, and the Tides of Blood combo with the Sanguine Pool. Hemo Plague finishing off Samdilla as he had no way out. Now that he dove that far, it allows Clumsy Chocobo to put more goal on the most important member of this team. And in the meantime, Bear Jr. and Gurk7 have taken that second, or another turret for themselves in the mid lane, possibly the most important turret, in my opinion.
Yeah, that mid lane turret, it opens up the map completely because you're able to get some of that river pressure on both sides of the mid lane there. So not having that turret there opens up so much more of the map for you. As we do see Dragon started here by TBR. It looks like this is going to go uncontested. It is a Mountain Drake, so that might help out later on in the game. Especially since the side of KB does have a Yorick. So split pushing is not going to be that much easier for them now. So we do see as they continue to split push here, we do see Yorick moving into that mid lane. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, Gurk7 did use that Abyssal Voyage to bring Bear Jr. himself towards that dragon. I guess the whole plan was to take that dragon right away, but having taken that mid tower, they had to reset. And good on TBR to recognize that fact and immediately go towards that dragon. I'm not sure if they did or if it was just desperation. Either way, it was really strong. It also prevents the infamous Caligo Bogboy 20-minute Baron from happening. As a hook comes down onto Kaligi, the most tanky member of the team, Call of the Forge God comes out. Trundle perfect pillar sets him behind, but it stops the Searing Charge from getting to the
It blocks his own team.
York. Choose me while he teleports in with the Hemo Plague into the immediately in the Sanguine Pool. Gets caught out by that snare, but does not finish off Pop Blossom. No other damage left to go out to him. And everybody's going to get out of this fight unscathed. Bear Jr. smells blood in the water, and he pops his on the hunt to chase somebody down, but nobody's healthy enough to back him up. Juicy is going to walk forward. No doubt Sanguine Pool is off its cooldown. He just gets a perfectly, whatever that's called, siphon blood or transfusion off. With
that entire time, Labyrinth was in the bot lane to push that lane right now, but both those towers are gone down there, so I'm not really sure why he's pushing that lane. But both teams escaped without a death, so the pretty weird team fight there. And that was unfortunate with the Trundle pillar blocking the Ornn, blocking the Ornn dash into the wall there. He would have definitely knocked off a couple of members of the team for KB, but unfortunately that's just the way that it interacts now. So I guess if you want a combination, you can pick up Trundle's pillar with the Ornn for future.
It just gives you a faster Ornn Q to use. I mean, how unbelievable. Gotta start piloting it for LOT now. That's it. As we see, that was a great point mentioned about Labyrinth 1898 pushing bottom. Had he been there, maybe the tides of the fight have changed. But we see that he's still working on that Triforce. He's one piece away from the Holy Trinity. And Samdilla is starting to farm his way back into the game as he has finished his Berserker Cruise and looking for a second item here. But we do see that Bear Jr. is working on his third item already, nearly complete on it actually. So
yeah, we do see Labyrinth finally finishing his Triforce. He was sitting on 2,500 before his back there. So he picks up the Triforce, and instead of picking up the Mercury Treads, he's going to pick up another pickaxe.
Also looking towards that Sterix gauge more likely than not. This split push by Juice Me Mommy, actually the split push at all from Team Caligula Bobway means they can send so many members anywhere they want, pressure every corner of the map at the same time. And it's so difficult with the Bung and the Restless to deal with it. How do you think the Bung and the Restless really do come back into this? Because they are starting to fall behind in the gold count.
You need to start killing the people in the mid lane and being able to take objectives from that. As we see Gurg7 and Labyrinth coming in.
Yeah, that Abyssal Voyage from Gurg7 and Labyrinth is going to force Vayne to drop his ultimate and heal. And Labyrinth's going to get kited to death as that is just damage Vayne. We see Yorick's going to go right back into the fight with his wall. And Labyrinth's actually going to get away with the Devourer from Labby. But the Night Hunter chase and tumble with that passive from Vayne. Going to run down Yorick. He's going to use the flash and the tumble to get that final kill. Meanwhile, Juice Me Mommy up top is pushing in, and Bear Jr. is taking turrets on his own. Two very strong split pushes. Very difficult to take these small fights on their own. They're going to continue this chase. Trundle's going to drop that pillar of whatever it's called, and it's going to be another kill from Sam Dillo. Trundle's going to go further one more. He's going to sap away the... That's from the locket. And use that to dive the turret, but nothing's going to come of it as Gurg7 uses his flash to put himself to safety. Blaster's going to go over. Bear Jr. is going to try to get some poke damage with that boomerang blade, but nothing's going to come of that. And now he's caught between a rock and a hard place as the next dragon is coming up, and the Bug and the rest are perfectly positioned to take it.
They are positioned to take it, however, it doesn't respond for another at least 20-30 seconds here. So then the entire team is going to be respawned by the time the next dragon does come up. However, they do get the tower in the bot lane, so that's a little bit more gold for the side of TBR. And Sam Dillo picked up a couple kills there on the Yorick and the Vi, so he's got some more gold in his pockets. Almost got his Ginsu's Rage Blade coming in. So we'll see if they're able to continue that. As I said, you really just want to try and kill as many people as you can and then reset to try and take objectives somewhere else. Because basically you're going to be split pushed to death, as Sivir did pick up that tower in the mid lane. As we see TBR at the dragon already.
Yep. Seems Bung the rest decided to offset their recalls and just gave up the Ocean Drake to Caligula Bobway. The quick tongue lash and Devour is going to make Clumsy Chocobo, and perhaps this is how they transition over to Baron to get a huge advantage. However, not all is lost as two dragons are on both sides, and the kill advantage does go to the side of the Bung and the Restless. There is going to be an Abyssal Voyage by Gurg7 to bring himself and Bear Jr. and Yorick over to that Baron. They're just going to start on it right away with that Maiden Mist and those ghouls tanking much of it. Bung and the Restless going in, missing one of their key members of their team, but they're going to go for it anyway because they don't have a choice. On the hunt is Pop. Call of the Forge God is Pop, and Labyrinth secures that Baron Asher. Membug's in the front line. Pop Lock's going to catch 3 people out. They're going to get so much damage down, but missing that Trundle main DPS. Vayne is going to go in with the Night Hunter. He's going to take out everybody. He's going to hunt everybody down. There's going to be no Barons alive as Yorick's going to go down, and that is a clean wipe. 5 for 2 on the side of the Bung and the Restless. I could not be more hyped for this underdog win.
You know, KB was able to get the Baron there, but unfortunately Sam Dillo was left untouched that entire fight. He just randomly comes out with a quadra kill on the entire team of TBR. They're going to lose at least this first mid tower here. They might lose the second one because the first champion that's respawned is Gurg7 on the Tom Kench, but nobody else has to be respawned with him in order to voyage across the map there. So they're going to pick up 2 towers here, and basically if we were in the real LCS, the Baron power play for KB would be the negative gold here because of all the objectives that TBR is able to pick up here. So they were able to get the Baron, but it just cost them too much to get that Baron, so it's unfortunate for them.
Alright, there's 2 points I want to bring up. First, I love the fact, we overlooked it in the draft, but the Bug and the Restless drafted 3 tanks to put in front of Sam Dillo, who's a super hyper carry on this Vayne that he's super comfortable on, and they also put Zaruto on this great zoning Nico, right, for these fights. So it's no surprise that Sam Dillo goes untouched when Vladimir is the only person that can get to him.
Yeah, Zaruto did have an incredible ultimate there, getting 4 people that were all funneled into that one small area there in the river.
Yeah.
So, it's a great ultimate from there. However, he doesn't have flash for the next fight, so we'll see how that goes for them.
Right. And the second point I want to bring up is let's all take a look at Yorick's 2-item power spike that he's got going on.
Is that normal?
So York has elected to go for that 40% CDR Spear Shojin combo, so that when he gets into a team fight and already has the Maiden of the Mist up, it does nothing. On the off chance, though, that he summons in the middle of the team fight, he can go around slapping people with Qs, putting up walls everywhere. So I can't wait to see what he does with this.
Okay.
Alright, all flame aside, the game is not completely on the side of TBR yet, as even though they got that that full wipe at the Baron buff, there is a 3.5k gold difference still on the side of Bobway, and we see Trundle make quick work of that mob, as Trundle is so good, and probably one of the only things he's good at is taking apart computer-controlled monsters. I'm sorry if I'm blaming Trundle too much. I really hate that champion.
So we do see the Ornn work starting to come in here. So Might of the Ruined King is going to be coming out here for Vayne, as Ornn was able to upgrade that. And then the Ornn himself went with Circlet of the Iron Talari, which is the upgrade of the Iron Talari itself, or the big AoE shield coming in for them. So we'll see how that goes for them. Coming in with the Ornn upgrades, as he is level 15, so he does have 3 items out for level 13, 14, and 15. So we'll see what happens here. It kind of looks like KB doesn't really know what to do anymore, because they kind of expected to have that Baron and to just be able to split push. But unfortunately, they don't have the Baron anymore, so they're not able to split push as effectively, as pretty much the only outer tower remaining is that top lane tower once again. Pretty much the same as it was in game 1. So we'll see what they want to do here. Dragon is not going to be up soon, I don't think. The next dragon is another mountain dragon, so I think TBR is going to be wanting to fight for this one to avoid that split pushing power coming in from KB.
Yeah, I mean, the Bunker Wrestlers have definitely proven that they're just so much stronger in team fights, and as the game just gets longer, Ornn upgrades are going to make it so they can't lose. However, that Spirit Shojin actually doing mad work as he summons that Maiden in the middle of that fight, and then just keeps Champion Curse down to his death. We've seen Abyssal Voyage taking the Sivir and Gurg 7 all the way to the tower. They're going to bait with that... What a genius play right now. They just baited that dragon to set up that bot wave for the push, and they're going to get 2 inhibitors and trade for an Earth Drake.
Yeah,
wow.
That's crazy play coming in from them. You know, all 5 members of KB are inside the base, while TBR, they're just kind of sitting there.
With the gates broken now, they don't even need a Baron to break that middle turret. Now all they have to do is reset and go down that mid lane. So now how do you think TBR is going to have to come back from this?
I just think you have to wait for them to come to you. Baron will be up in another minute here. So with TBR, you kind of just have to have them come to you and then kill them all, essentially. That's what worked for them last time.
Yeah, that's true. We see that the third Ornn Forge item is coming out on the Nico, with that Luden's Echo being bumped up. As these items get more and more late game, that gold difference is not big enough on the side of KB to make up for it. We're trying to run here, and they're going to look for the call of the Forge God fight without Samdilla actually in place. Labyrinth 1898 is going to hit the bite, but he's going to get devoured. Bear Jr. seems to be out of position, but he's going to take that blast route over, and it's just going to kite away the Trundle. But On the Hunt has been used, so now the minions are not in place. York's going to be split pushing mid. They're going to try to take this fight to York himself, maybe take the fight mid and earn their own inhibitor. York's running off bot, probably being sent to go push in that Nexus turret.
Yeah, I mean, if TBR goes for Baron here, York's just going to be able to split push and win the game on the bot side. So we'll have to see what they want to do here. As York is walking towards that bot side, but TBR did start the Baron here.
Yeah, with that Ginsu's Rage Blade followed with that Might of the Ruined King, they're just going to melt through that Baron like it doesn't even exist. There's going to be no way for Labyrinth to steal that. They're going to back off, and they realize that the minions are starting to pour into their base. But they see that they're going to get chased down, as the call, I'm sure, from the side of coming Bobby is stop the backs. But that Baron Empowered Recall is going to send Nico home just before she gets tongue lashed, and she's going to be able to defend against the York from taking this tower here. Samdillo and Trundle are closing in quick on the Trundle. Oh my god, he summoned that Maiden of the Mist and just slapped the crap out of that tower with that Spirit Shojin buff. Once he's caught in the zone, he can get the call of the Forge God out. He's going to die as he no longer gets a shield from his W. Now it's going to be a 4v5 if the team fight starts. However, Samdillo does have dead GA, so it's kind of like 4.1 to 5. We see the Trundle Pillar knocking up Juicy Mommy. Juicy Mommy's going to get hooked in without Sangvi Pool or anything to save his life. Samdillo's going to go in and start crushing people. He's going to get a triple hit on Gurg. Gurg's going to have to pop that gray health. He's going to take down this, and boy, look at Bobby, while they have every inhibitor and one turret down, they're gonna have to run for their lives.
Yeah, it's fortunate that TBR got the dragon there. Unfortunately, they did lose all 3 of their inhibitors, so right now they are going to be clearing out double super minions coming in from each lane. So we'll see what they want to do. Yorick did finish the ZZ Rot and laid it down into that turret, so he was able to cue that turret to death. So we'll see what TBR wants to do here, as they're going to be forced to stay inside their base coming in for the next at least 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, we have 1 tower left. TBR is holding on to a hope and a dream, but the gold lead is actually starting to go even closer and closer as they did take that Baron. It is merely a 3.3k advantage now. Perhaps just 2 team fights for TBR to get back into the game and win the 1 team fight to get back into the game, 2 to win the game. How do you think they set this up?
I really don't even think you need 2. I think you just need 1 good team fight in the mid lane, and then you're able to push that lane all the way into. They have the double mountain dragon, and they're able to do so much damage to basically any structures coming in here. TBR does not have to leave the base here. They can just clear the waves and fight inside their base, and that's basically what they should be doing here, as basically KB has to come to them at this point. There are no objectives on the map. There's nothing for them to do other than farm the jungle. So if KB wants to win this game, they have to win it now. Otherwise, and they have to go into your base, otherwise it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, the good part about having no inhibs up and only 1 tower left is you can't get out macroed anymore. There's nothing to macro. So now they're just sitting here waiting for the fight to come to them. As we see, Samdilla's going to ward off Juice Me Mommy on his own, even though he's down an entire level. Never mind. Mark my words, he just hit the same level. Juice Me Mommy's going to reset with that teleport up, and this might be the last fight that we're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, again, if TBR is able to get the right team fight and able to just kill all of them without too many casualties, they'll be able to just win the game here. So, but they have to go now.
Yep. As you say, that Call of Forge God comes out, it's going to hit nobody, and they're going to run after it. Juice Me Mommy's just going to go push in the face, but Nico's going to stop him. Samdilla's going to come in. Oh, it looks like Yorick's in trouble. That made it in the mist, and Zezrat's not going to do anything. The last tower's going to get taken down by Juice Me Mommy. He's going to pop blossom, and Bear Jr. is going to push to the side. He's going to get taken down by Samdilla. He's down. Juice Me Mommy, can he end the game? Can he X special this game? As he runs away, he's going to get taken down by Samdilla. Wow. Kirk 7's going to Abyssal Voyage with the Vi back in, but Vi's not going to be able to do it. Both of them die. All 5 members of the team are dead. The Bungie Brothers get the clean ace. Maybe they can, or expect ace, sorry, not X special. And we're going to see what they can do with this. Maybe they get Elder Drake. Maybe they can end the game. Sorry.
No, this is such a hard spot.
Pentakill!
It was a pentakill. Pentakill coming out from Samdilia on the Vayne. You know, he was able to kill all 5 members. So they're gonna pick up the Elder Dragon here, and we'll see what they want to do. As we see 2 inhibitors respawning on the side of TBR here, so we'll see how long they're able to protect that. The death timers are a little bit longer here, and then Baron will be spawning within the next like minute and a half or so. So we'll see how this goes for the side of TBR. But once again, there was a pentakill by Samdilio in one of the craziest fights in this game right now. So we'll see what they want to do here.
Incredible resurgent from the Bungie and the Restless for the first time this entire game. Well, second time if you count that first blood. They have the gold lead, a substantial gold lead, and much to the charge. And Samdillo has the first Vayne Penta that mattered as it's during the regular season. Congrats to Samdillo here. And we see that the inhibitors have come back up for the side of the Bungie and Restless. We can see what they can do with this.
Yeah, so Baron will be spawning here in the next like minute or 2, coming in for TBR, and that's probably going to be the next objective. I think KB at this point, they really, there's nothing left for them to do. They either go in as 5 together, or they have the split push coming in. But once again, TBR is stuck inside their base, so split pushing isn't necessarily going to work when the radius of where they have to go is so small.
Yeah, with these consistent, also a good point being made. Tahm Kench is terrible in team fights, and just 5v5. It's just he's kind of worthless, right? So that fact has relegated to Gerg 7 falling down to level 12, and these consistently won fights by TBR has brought Menbung up 4 levels ahead. This is not the same game that Menbung was level 2 while Gerg was level 5, right?
Gerg is level 12. How is he so far behind? I don't understand.
the champion just doesn't do anything in team fights other than a single devour, right? So like, it's a tough one. Ornn has gotten these forged items on everybody except for the most important player, this Trundle. Baron could be a bait to end the game, since if they go for this Baron, we can just see Yorick end the game with his own.
We do see them only 2 people inside the pit here.
Wow, that 5-item bait is just gonna
they
roll.
stole
Oh my
it.
god, the boomerang play from Bear Jr. just stole the Baron. They're gonna get out of there. The Call of Forge going in. The Devour going in. Kirk's gonna get to die. But there's 2 split pushes in the base, and Nico can't do it on her own. They need to send the Bane back. Otherwise, the game will end. Nico Pop is just gonna die to York. The Trundle has recalled with that Baron buff timer. Vayne really needs to go back. Juice Meow is taking his own inhibitor. He's going for the Nexus. Nobody can stop him. Vayne still hasn't started recalling. This game might be over. Ornn's walking towards the Juice Meow is auto-attacking this. He's going to expect this, and it's going to be over.
What a hard
macro bait.
Oh, man. We were really rooting for TBR there, but great game. Great macro play coming out here from KB. Oh, man.
Wow. The death of the underdog. Good game to Caligula Babwe taking both of those. That was a really close game. Nobody thought this David Goliath matchup was going to look this close, but it did the second game. So who do you think deserves the MVP vote this game?
I feel like you either have to give it to Kaligi or Juice Me Mommy. If they were just able to split push and complete that macro play that KB depends on. Kaligi, although I'm not sure if the build is necessarily the best, he was able to do almost basically the most, or behind the vein, was able to do the most damage in the game. So I have to give it to Kaligi.
That's a really interesting point. I would have to give MVP to Sandillo on the other team for even making that game close.
I mean, if we're breaking the rules here, Sam Delio too. Like, Sam Delio is the MVP of Game 2. Who cares about KB? We know they're in first place. Everybody's a TBR fan tonight, and we all want Sam Delio on the MVP page here.
That's what I'm saying. But no, in all reality, I got to give my MVP vote actually to Gerg7 again here. I don't know if he's the shot caller, if Bear's a shot caller, but those macro plays were incredible. And the Abyssal Voyages, if he's not the shot caller, then I have to give it to the shot caller. But those Abyssal Voyages and macro moves were outstanding and honestly defined that game. If they had tried to fight that straight up 5v5, they would have lost that game for sure.
But he's level 13. And he has 4,000 less gold than anybody else on his team. Menbung was a little more useful than Gerg7. I can't give it to Gerg7. No way.
That's a fair point. But if we're great stats though on the side of Caligula Babwe, I'd probably give it to Kaligi, honestly, for putting on so much pressure in the side lane, for doing everything he can so that they were able to play their way. And this is an unironic Kaligi MVP vote for me.
Trundle is a viable champion. SpongeBob. Yes, I have to. I also give it to Kaligi. I think probably one of the better reasons as to why KB won this game. But you also can't ignore Juice Me Mommy also doing the split pushing and being able to keep the pressure up on the game. So
absolutely,
I have to give it to Kaligi, but Juice Me Mommy also played the exact same game as Kaligi. So we just have to keep that in mind.
Absolutely. Well, the MVP for Game 1 was Kaliki, so go ahead and pop into Player of the Game chat, and we will meet you there soon. MVP for the second game is slowly closing up. It seems that Kaligi is also winning the MVP of the Game 2 so far. So maybe just meet us in Player of the Game 1, Kaligi. We'll see you there.
Thanks for moving me.
All right. Well, so far we're joined by the captain of the Bung and Restless Membug, and we are still waiting for our player of the game, Kaligi. All right. Well, so far we're joined by
Oh, you're not supposed to have the stream on.
It's after the game. What? I'm sorry.
Hello?
Oh yeah, man. That 30-second delay on finding out you joined player of the game room before I knew. So I'm here. My, admin abuse.
We're gonna need you to stop cheating.
Whoa, hello, what is up?
And
This guy.
there's the double player of the game.
I wanna forego my player of the game 1 so we can get Bear Jr. in here. You know, it's that's in the rules. I read it just today in class.
Yeah.
I swear it's a rule. I read it in the middle of ecology.
Haha. You
Yeah.
said go, like you went to class or something.
Dude,
Like
I
you-
was
like
in
you
class, but I
fucking
wasn't
read.
at class. Dude. There we go. It's a cool rule that you can forego player of the game and the team captain goes in. But if you win twice, who knows?
All right. Well, I'll
Oh,
open
you're
up these
so
questions.
loud. Holy shit.
If you
Okay.
win twice, you get a free handy from me.
I'm about it.
OTP
Okay.
HJ.
So I'm going to open up with questions about Game 2. And my question goes to Caligma Bobway. Were you guys ever worried, and why during that game?
I'm just gonna laugh at you for that question.
I was a little worried when I was alt tabbed standing next to the blue buff.
We were.
and, they invaded.
Nick said,
and
"Hey guys, I'm gonna
put
play
one up my
music."
butt.
He said, "Hey, I'm gonna play music." Left base late. Came in alt tabbed because he couldn't hear us and sat. And we're like, Nick.
I was trying
Hey,
to turn
Nick?
SoundCloud down. But anyways, I was really worried after Vayne got like 2 quadras and a penta. And then
Yeah, that
Ornn
was-
upgraded
that was-
like 5 items on them. So I was like, guys, we should do something about that.
Yeah, then that's when we said, "Hey guys, just don't group ever again. If we see everyone in one lane, we're losing the game." Like that was just it's just a bunch of oofs.
I just turned into wave clear bot. Greg was shot calling around. He had some great abyssal voyages, and then we just won off their. We mostly won off the double and Hib when they went for Mountain Drake, because they didn't push the waves out top or bot before they did that. So Greg recognized that and just called for the push.
Yeah, it was really good. A lot of those Abyssal Voyages were just game changing, including the
Yeah.
one that actually gave the Penta. But
hey, we don't talk about that.
We didn't play to our game plan like half the game too. Our game plan was to group as 4 and use Sivarol to just disengage with the Tom Kench and then let Kaligi do his thing splitting. But we kept trying to like turn the fight and fight into like Vayne, Trundle, Nico, and Nico just destroyed us right away and Vayne cleaned up. And then they have 3 frontliners.
I did not
So-
expect my maiden to just literally kill Nico at the end of the game at like 300 health. So I flashed and I was like, "Wait, what the fuck? She's dead."
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
We have very little percent health damage besides the Tom Kench ult, or not ult, eat the W. So like we
Yeah.
can't really get kills unless we target someone with that shit. So at least in team fight settings. So it was just very tough for us to try to team fight. So once we stopped doing that, it looked a lot better.
it's true. So I'm gonna jump in with the second question. This one toward Menbung. Going to Game 2, actually just during the draft of Game 2, what were you guys talking about? How did you come across this genius draft?
Hey guys, what do y'all want to play? I don't know. Well, who's gonna jungle? Think of a number between 1 and 10. I mean, this is actually verbatim. This is verbatim. So, I mean, I'm not trolling. We were like, all right, well, last game we had some great moments. We had some really bad moments. We were kind of derping in bot lane, but it's whatever. What are we gonna do? I don't know. We'll just pick not. We can flex at mid. What? Okay.
Honestly,
All right,
you
well,
had us
let's-
like shaking. We didn't know where the fuck anyone was going.
Yeah, we did.
We called out. It was
I
like Nico
guess-
ADC orange
Yeah.
support.
Yeah, we were having some theory crafting sessions in there. That was something.
Hey.
Like, what is going on?
Hey, same. We were also having some theory crafting sessions. So, yeah. And then I'm like, Julio, who do you want to play? And he's like, I don't know. And then they picked in Tom Kench, and we were like, well, this jungler pick would have been great if they didn't have that champion. And then we were like, well, all right, I'm gonna lock you in this. And he's like, okay, I play that. I was like, thank God. So then that was it. And then yeah, we lost.
So you're the reason behind the trundle.
You guys did really well though. Like,
Yeah,
Well,
Mimbug
we-
picking
we-
Trundle. I'm so surprised.
But I didn't pick it for me though.
Yeah,
and,
but you
like,
picked it.
forcing us off the early dragons was like huge, and the mountain would have been good if you guys pushed the bot lane and top out first if you could. But Yorick was
Yeah.
kind of ahead.
I think we overcommit our resources in terms of people on the map more than anything.
Hmm.
So
The orange,
Also, it
the orange
sucked.
pick falls off really hard versus the Yorick too, even though
Yeah.
they buffed orange late.
yeah, all it was is just we just needed. Hey, we have Trundle and Nautilus, and unless Nautilus is within a screen of somebody, we're never gonna get engaged. So let's do this.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Alright.
the immaculate draft there, legends.
Do you have any questions, Rob?
I do not. No. I think I think game one the draft was a little iffy, but you still had the abilities to win, and I think you definitely made some good changes in game two. Banning the Yasuo. I don't think they would have picked Braum without the Yasuo, even though unless they picked up Evolution, but I don't really think they were gonna do that. So.
Hmm.
Um,
I will still stand to say that if we didn't give away 2 kills before and everything, and I wasn't super underleveled like I was in game 1 in the bot lane, that the Yasuo pick allows Bear to call his own shot, but it does. I don't think it was the reason we lost was oh, you gave him Yasuo.
No, I
so
just
therefore-
I made a couple of plays early, but I mostly was just wave clearing and farming.
Yeah, so we
I wasn't doing
could
anything
have
crazy.
played it better. I mean, we had priority in the bot wave, for the majority of it, and then there was just one mishap after the first blood. So yeah,
It wasn't like I was the one playmaking all that game either. It was like I cleaned up the kill half the time, but the kill was handed to me.
wait,
was
hold on. Can someone tell me who was MVP for game 1?
That was
Kaligi.
Kaligi did.
Fuck everybody who troll votes. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? That dude got his
Yeah.
first kill when the inhibs were.
At 24 minutes.
Hey,
Something like that.
but I did the
Yeah.
most damage in the game, so it's
MVP,
fine.
by the way.
That's not
Yeah,
okay.
I
I'm
honored Sion
I'm
the
locking
entire
in.
game and
I'm
did the
locking in
most damage.
brand. I'm locking in brand jungle. Vote for
Alright.
the MVP next game.
All right, do it. I will. I'll watch the stream and I'll vote.
Yeah.
Well, but see, the only problem is I won't be on the winning team, Kaligi. You don't know that. So
That's-
Do we have any other questions? Maybe from chat or Chad?
Kaligi, what's your?
Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
KB, are you afraid of the Chad for next week?
Of course they are. They
Uh,
better fucking
no.
be. They better
were-
be.
Chad who? Chad P who?
Wait, what? Is that the fucking the Brad baby seal? Yeah, no, we're not afraid of him.
What?
Wait, I don't have my Chad flex anymore.
I don't know
Sorry,
if you
my
said the
P-Chad,
Brad
my-
Navy
my-
SEAL.
My
Baby seal. Baby
Oh.
seal.
my P brain, my PADC brain.
I'm playing
doesn't
Garen
quite
mid
get it.
that week.
All right. Well, we have a question for Bear Jr. and Kaligi. Okay. And how many chat packs did we have that series?
We had one game 1, then we had 4 game 2 with most on Sean's teleport into the blue buff. But that whole fight was a rally of Chad facts. That made Greg absolutely
we're
lose
leaving.
his
Oh,
mind.
there's a TP. Let's do it.
Then we're like, all right, fuck, let's go. And then Nick ulted, and I was like, all right, never mind. So we all walked away. Then Nick ulted, and we're like, oh fuck, we're
Yeah,
going back
ultimate
in.
ult back
Yeah.
off.
Someone explain to me what the heck a Chad fact is.
You had
it's
to
not
be in
what
the
it is
ARAM
either.
right before that.
Okay, then.
Uh,
Cold
Okay.
hard Chad face.
Chad
It is
facts.
super late. So I'm gonna close the stream if we have nobody else. Thank you for joining us, Kaligi, Membung, and Bear Jr. Rob
you.
and Chat Penguin. I am Legends MK. You were able to enjoy Week 9's Caligula Bobway 2-0 on The Bug and the Restless. Have a great night.